I know, every time I do it.
So these are maximum age. How are we gonna?
8 in the infant room and 10 in the toddler. So they're limited strictly by the, yeah, they're limited by the FSSA rules, so they can't exceed that.
Our request is to have one to the interior.
Correct.
Versus two. One to the interior and one to the exterior,
Exactly.
which for the one room would be easy. It's on the outside wall, correct?
Well, yeah, it tends to be a lot more complicated than it looks because you have to do sidewalks and all that sort of thing. But
It's not cost.
we spent money on putting the sprinklers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, put a sprinkler system in. And,
Oh.
yeah, the exterior doors, it wouldn't require a sprinkler system.
Yes, that's right, because, well, let's see. Yes. Because the
It would all be considered an E.
right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not changing the use of the school, if you add that, because the rest was still all the school, right? Education.
Correct, right. It's all e-occupancy, right?
So, yeah.
So I'd rather have the sprinkler system. But
Take a sprinkler system, yeah. Just say yes. Yes. Solid more, I would be prepared to say yes. With the addition of sprinkler and having a full pipeline system constructed.
And they're limited
Access
to,
the,
and they're limited to the number.
knowledge.
Explain that, what you guys were just talking, I was just catching up. If you had an exit, you'd be flipped to an E occupancy,
Yes.
which wouldn't require sprinklers. Is that what I just said?
correct,
Okay.
right, that's right.
They put the sprinklers in instead, which I'd advocate for sprinklers, but if they had cut doors in, realistically, in those two areas. They could send them just to be out. That's,
Yeah, that's in section 308. I think it's 308, 6.1. It's for type 4 occupancies and they give you an exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just thinking about, because we've had a few of these, we're gonna have a few more based on what you just said earlier.
Yeah, and it's like it's one of every kind. I've not had any that are exactly alike.
not on any of them, and none of them have wanted to sprinkler or fire alarm their structure.
Right.
They just want to get away with not having.
The second.
Yeah.
And there was like one, I remember that was like a temporary set.
Yes,
Because there
that
was construction.
Exactly.
Okay. But this one, they're giving.
This is, I advised them, I said, I think the best thing, if we could get sprinklers in that wing, at least then it's a better argument.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion second.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Chris?
Yes.
Commissioner Davidson?
No.
Commissioner Height?
Yes.
Chairman?
Yes.
Commissioner Petteri?
Yes.
Vice Chairman?
Yes.
Commissioner Porter?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Yes.
Commissioner Zink?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shane. Next up, we have Macau Haunted Attraction, operator 24 OC 42.
This request is for a haunted attraction. They don't have the fire suppression system for certain dates in October. We want to send this to you because now this is the fourth time coming asking for variance.
Is there anyone here from a haunted house?
Yes, I'm Selena Weatherwax, CEO of the MAC Foundation.
Okay. I mean, go ahead and tell
The
us.
Macabre Haunted Attraction is our annual fundraiser. This will be our third year of hosting this event. It's open to the community, but we also work with another nonprofit to put this production on. The reason for the variance is that because we are using two of our existing tactical buildings for this attraction. We have also then proposed a fire safety plan that you should hopefully have a copy of in front of you. We are committed to having a fire watch on site, and Washington Township Volunteer Department has already committed that they would make themselves available that weekend to make sure that coverage was handled. In addition to that, fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, exit signage, all the requirements that we have proposed in the safety plan, we will be sure to implement prior to the first showing. This event generates about $25,000 for us annually, and so it's a major support mechanism to keep our first responder training campus at no cost to local agencies and their departments. So thank you for your consideration.
Wrong. There's stipulation that fire watches are coordinated to the state fire marshal's office.
That is true.
Okay. Who would they contact regarding that?
Anybody in code enforcement, like any assistant section chief, myself, or the fire marshal.
Okay.
So what you're saying down there, Selena would have to get with your department? The fire watch, right?
Right, to implement a fire watch, we should be aware of it and approve whoever that person is to make sure that they have the proper certifications. To.
The person is
You're using,
Chief Robert Hofstedt of the Washington Township Volunteer Fire Department. When we submitted the variance application, his contact information was also submitted as part of that. And I believe that someone in your office did contact him, as well as the city inspector Vicky Thresher.
gotta write that in here. It's in there.
It is. I just wanted to make sure that they're aware that, because I hear lots of jurisdictions saying, oh, well, we'll just do a fire watch. And they
Yeah.
don't realize that fire watches have to be coordinated through the state fire marshal's office. They can't just decide to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
It's for 7 days.
And it's not continuous too, it's only 3 hours at a time. So it's not as though this attraction is running every day, all day. It's just 3 hours during those weekends.
Yes. So like 3 hours Saturday, 3 hours Sunday?
3 hours Friday, 3 hours Sunday. I'm sorry, 2 hours on Sunday. So Friday, Saturday, 3 hours each, 2 hours on Sunday. We have a kids' day where we don't have any actors involved, so kids can walk through with their costumes, but no one's gonna come out and spook them. So that's a short window.
So they have seven times that they're open.
7 different 3-day stretches.
I think just 7 days.
It's 7 days. So it's Friday, the 11th of October, Saturday, the 12th. Those are each 3 hours. And then she said it's a 2-hour kids event on Sunday, the 13th. And then on the 18th, 19th, and 25th, 26th, which are both Friday, Saturdays, it's 3 hours each.
Okay.
Then they still need to contact the state, because for two things, one, they need to be inspected before they open at the state, because they have to have an entertainment permit. On house feature, and then two, whoever they have doing the fire permit has to be approved by the state, because you can't just have anybody doing it. I mean, obviously. Our watches as well have to be approved. We're not just gonna let somebody who says, I've done some training, I'm gonna do it,
We have some qualifications.
They have to have qualifications, they have to be approved by the state.
Get your online certificate.
Yeah. Can't decide to have, 16-year-old kid just decide that they want to do it.
I wouldn't even know how to begin to motion even a variance on this. I'm not sure that that may be the point.
Well, I don't know, and so they've gotten variances passed for 3 or 4 years.
It doesn't seem, I mean, the plan seems pretty solid
Yeah.
plan and, I mean, if there's not any heartburn, I'm happy. I'll motion to approve. Yeah.
My hesitation is there's a.
You're hesitating to hesitate?
All right.
We're a first I don't know if you're familiar with our organization, but we're a first responder training campus. We're 30 acres developed, so we train firefighters, law enforcement, and EMS personnel. The attraction is primarily actors that are volunteer their time, that are first responders themselves. So the whole weekend, the 2 weekends, are heavily utilized by first responders. Well-attended events here are always having first responders in mind, and this is another example of that. And it allows us to raise money to support operations for the MAC, to continue to offer our campus at no cost to first responders all throughout the region.
Yeah, we're just looking at how to say this. So there's already been.
What's that? Sorry, I can't hear you.
So there's already been a motion to approve. It's just, we just need to make sure that
The wording.
you are compliant with an inspection from the Department of Homeland Security, and that your fire watch has to be approved through the Department of Homeland Security.
Was that not already in their plan?
I don't think that they had, that the fire watch was approved by the state farm marshal's office.
It didn't have those words in there. Yeah. Is that part of your motion?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's compliant. Is that different than the National Fire Code 401.1.1?
It's not a national fire code.
Okay.
Indiana fire code.
And-
Should say it.
Selena, I can't let my curiosity getting the best of me. What is a clown crap house?
It is really a nasty space. They use
That's good.
oils that smell like farts and other bodily gases, and a clown room to bring the element of being grossed out.
Far as they can.
Sounds like you gotta go to Valparaiso for Halloween.
You're welcome. But they bring the element of scaring people, grossing people out,
Good for the
and
kids.
sparking
Yeah.
curiosity.
A good time.
So, is it that person second?
Well, so I'll amend the motion. So a motion to approve with the conditions that the fire watch be coordinated through the fire marshal's office. And that the space be inspected by coordinated through DHS.
Second.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mr. Chris?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Caterino?
Yes.
Vice Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Zayner?
Yes.
All right, that is approved on the condition that fire watch is approved by the State Fire Marshal's Office and the space be inspected by DHS.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, so next up, we have 240243 Mother House renovation and addition Plymouth.
This variance deals,
Who put their mic on?
Not me.
this variance deals with a 5-story elevator and lobby, a new addition, putting the existing building in non-compliance as far as allowable area is concerned. One of the things that could remedy this problem is providing a 3-hour structurally independent firewall, which the proponent is not do.
Is there anyone online here for Mother House renovation and addition?
Sorry.
Melissa, is this one of yours?
Still on there?
Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Melissa Tupper, RTM consultant. Sorry, I'm in my car waiting for my kids at school. So, this variance request is to permit a new elevator and lobby addition to the existing building. The existing building, the original building was constructed in 1919. It's a church and dormitory building for the sisters. Then in 1966, they added onto the building, added a college portion onto the building. And then in 2002, they did a small expansion. So the result is we have an existing building. It's partially sprinklered in areas, approximately 60,000 square feet on the first and second floors, 44,680 square feet on the third and fourth, and 27,000 square feet on the fifth floor. This is being added to access the residential floors on the upper levels, which are sprinklered. So we've got the third, fourth, and fifth floors that are fully sprinklered. They're going to sprinkler the addition, but the hardship is providing a structurally independent firewall between the small addition and existing building. So we're not really adding usable square footage, normally occupied square footage to the building. It's to provide another elevator access point.
So with all those
add-ons and renovations, is it not feasible or not economically feasible to do this?
To do what?
Elevator. Not approved. Does that help? You stated that.
Yeah, so the project is, they're renovating some of the residential floors and then adding this new elevator and lobby addition. So the variance request is not to provide a structurally independent firewall between the two. The elevator will be enclosed with 2-hour construction as required. The area of that portion of the addition is approximately 955 square feet.
What's the rating of that exterior wall as it is now?
What's what? Sorry.
What's the rating on that exterior wall as it is now?
It's, I can't say for certain. I would guess, well, this is a 3B building, so
Okay.
it should be at least 2 hours. So we have some physical separation, a rated separation. We just don't have the structurally independent firewall. And
And so you're just essentially gonna add on an elevator shaft in a porch area, a covered porch area, right?
yeah, and like a little lobby area. So you come off the elevator and there's like a little lobby on each level, like an elevator lobby, but no new living space or anything like that.
You have to get through there to the stair, so you're not trapped. Because you're not gonna use the elevator.
Hope not.
And fire. It is fairly close.
Yeah, there's stairs at the three corners, one at each corner and one in the bend that
Or the
for that
northwest,
area.
northwest there's the one they're gonna use.
Yeah, they're not far at all.
Yeah.
And it's being provided to give better access to this area of the building so they don't have to travel. And the, existing elevator is circa 1900s. So this will be a new code compliant elevator.
You gotta be careful, Melissa. I'm circa 1900s too.
Well, they're early.
Fair enough. I'm comfortable with this. What do you guys think?
Yep. Yep.
All right, make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second. Okay. Mr. Cook? Yeah. Mr. Chris? Ms. Davis?
Yes.
Oh.
No, for me.
Okay. Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Federico?
Yes.
Vice Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Yeah.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Zach?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde.
Yes. Yep, we missed one. Mr. Hyde? Yes.
Oh, sorry.
He's been here all day.
Been on the line too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so next up we have 240244 70 West Commerce Park Building 5.
This request is to allow the quantity of flammable and combustible liquid waste products to be stored in racks to exceed the maximum allowed quantity per table 307.1. We stored in a moderate hazard warehouse S1 occupancy.
And
Wait, I'm sorry. Christina Collins, our team consultants. This is one of my large warehouses out west of the city. It's 531 square foot for this tenant finish area. They stock medical products. One of the products that they stock is bone cement. The bone cement is sold in the commercial kits. So they're about this packaging, and then those are all put together, impacting cardboard and put on a pallet. In each of those boxes is 20 mil of a 1B, class 1B flammable liquid in a glass container and a powder to make the cement. So that's about an ounce. So roughly speaking, each pallet will contain 2 gallons of the class 1B liquid, and they have 185 pallets, so we have 390 gallons. Problem is, in an S1 occupancy, you're limited to 250 of a class 1B liquid. Otherwise, you define it as a hazardous occupancy. It's one of the disconnects that's been in the code for a long time, because I can have a Walmart that has, as much class 1 flammable liquids in all sorts of different containers. And that just has the same sprinkler protection as anything else. So they do address this in the latest edition, well, not even the latest edition, but the 2021 edition of NFPA 30 in chapter 16. It's kind of a whole chapter dedicated to this, which allows you to store in glass containers up to 1 gallon and put that in your storage warehouse without requiring classification as a special occupancy. The newer building codes will also reference this section, or reference NFPA 30 for the design and installation of this. FM also has this in their design standards, but we need a variance to do it. So we're going to store about 390 gallons in 1 ounce containers on 185 pallets, and there's this floor plan of the warehouse. It shows the shelving area where it is, so it is all contained to one area. The reason that they do this is because essentially it doesn't change the fire in the building, because you're not going to have the pool fire, which is the problem that we have with the H occupancies. So if you have a fire in the pallet, it will break open those little glass vials, but at 1 ounce, they will actually combust at less heat of combustion and less product than group-A plastics. So with the testing that Factory Mutual did, they saw when it was stored in less than 1 gallon glass containers, it really didn't contribute to the overall fire spread. We just don't have that ability in our code to take this exemption for our storage warehouses.
So the 2024 IBC, this section references an NFPA 30.
It will reference the NFPA 30 that will still have this.
And 30 says this is okay, essentially acceptable.
So basically what it does is it exempts these liquids from the classification as a hazardous storage occupancy.
Because of how small.
Because of how small they are. When they actually physically test them, and they're using 1 gallon jugs in the testing as part of a consumer product, it didn't exceed the sprinkler system design for general.
1 ounce.
And these are 1 ounce containers. Vials.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Sorry, my legs started hurting when you said bumps. I'm broken too many bones.
Weather's changing, that's why it's hard.
I'll second. Yeah.
Second?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Cook?
Yeah.
Commissioner Chris?
Yes.
Commissioner Davidson?
Yes.
Commissioner Height? Cameron?
Yes.
Commissioner Tyree?
Yes.
Vice Chair?
Yes.
Commissioner Porter?
Yeah.
Commissioner Wagner?
Yes.
Commissioner Zhang?
Yes.
Approved.
Thank you.
Are you done with it? Oh. We.
All right, next up, we have 240245 upstairs pub West Bar, Bloomington.
This variance, the code prohibits openings in exterior wall where the building is located less than 3 feet from the property line. The request here is to allow 2 new exterior openings in the west wall, and the building is less than 3 feet from the property line.
Melissa Tupper, RTM Consultants. So we've gotten this variance numerous times to prevent openings when they're not permitted or in excess of the percentage of when they're permitted. typically we do non-rated openings and protect them with a sprinkler head. For these openings, they're actually going to rate the opening in the exterior wall. So they're going to have two 90-minute rated doors. The existing building is sprinklered throughout, and there is a fire alarm throughout the building. The one door is being provided to just provide another means of access to the second floor space. It's not a required means of egress for the building. And the other door is being provided to access the space between the buildings. There's a AC unit down there that they need to be able to access, as well as to clean up the space between the buildings, because you won't be able to get back there with the new stair going in. So that's what the request is for.
Bobby, did you have something? I know Tim Clapp came to me as well. Go ahead.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Bloomington, this is at the corner of Indiana and Kirkwood, which is right across the street from the sample gates, right? So this facility is heavily utilized by the student population of Bloomington and Monroe County. We're generally not big fans of openings in buildings this close, but this provides another way out and in for this space. Right now, the space between the two buildings is it's dead space, not used for anything. The adjacent building has a masonry CMU wall all the way up. That's been built under a current code. Might have been built into the 2006 or 2008. They're all kind of running together. Sorry about that. But bottom line is that building is built under a modern code and does comply for proximity to property. So there is a level of protection there. As Melissa said, they've talked about using rated opening protectives there. And I find it hard to argue against providing another way out of this building. So just wanted to share a few minutes about the space there, where it's located, and the building adjacent to. So my question, Melissa, is the first note on your application says that there will be an easement agreement. What's the status of that?
I am not sure at this particular moment. They're working through that. It's so that they can build the new stair to provide access. So they have to get that agreement completed. Also, to add to Bobby's note, that wall on the adjacent building, there are no exterior openings in that. So the only exterior, and there's no other exterior openings on the wall. We're adding the two.
Yeah, as I said, Tim Clapp came to me before we had to leave to express that he was in favor and fix another issue similar by as far as adding an exit.
And I think Melissa said it, the building has all of its required exits at this time. Still okay with more, right? Yeah, I mean, we're adding extra exits, 90-minute doors. As long as the easement comes in so you can get the steps, it's gonna be hard to put them in without that. That's all noted on the application. Anybody have heartburn about it?
Well, I feel good and fuzzy. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mr. Fisk?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Mr. Patarino?
Yes.
Vice Chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Zane? All
Yes.
right, that one's approved.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your time today.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Bobby.
Okay, next up, we have 240246 new distribution building in Indianapolis. All right, this request.
Or- We're gonna withdraw this one, so I'll just save you a breath.
All right.
Done.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye, guys.
And I'd like to.
I get to.
And 240247, 2023 Brownsburg High School, Brownsburg.
Yeah, I thought they were just supporting you.
Allow a new multi-purpose field house addition to an existing high school, should not have an emergency voice alarm communication system.
Dave Cook representing Ralph Curtis Consultants. Brownsburg High School is adding on a field house, and it's going to be over 1,000, potentially over 1,000 occupants on the inside. Code says we need to have emergency voice alarm communication, just like the other 43 that have been approved. At least the ones that I've done of those 43, same thing. It's going to have a fire alarm, normal fire alarm system in it. It's going to have a sports PA system. It's going to have school PA system in it. Everybody's fully aware of what's going on in front of them. All the spectators are going to be up on the balcony area. They have their own exiting. And there's 1,055 inches of egress width, which equals 5,275 occupants on the first floor. There is no way there's going to be that many people on there. So for your approval.
Paul Hudson from Jonesburg Fire Territory. Just want to stand up and say that we discussed the project, we discussed it with Dave and with the architects. We don't have any objection. The system that's going to get installed is going to be exactly the same as what's existing in the other portions of the school right now, including all the other assembly spaces, gymnasium, auditorium, theater. So, no objections.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Thoughts, Mr. Brown?
I'm probably okay with it. Once you get here, come through across the board. You're fine.
Yeah, honestly, I can kind of fall back on some of the testimony that we've had before and logic would dictate that public address system is going to be more easily understood oddly than speakers and these devices. When you're giving directions, I think it's best that people have clear directions and can understand it easily, so.
If I needed to play the ace in the hole, which I've known forever, when this refers to NFP 72, NFP section 24 has been completely gutted out of, so there's nothing to file.
So why wouldn't we?
There's sure deny it. And we'll put a couple of tin cans up and stretch some string to it and say we're good, right? Ralph did tell me the reason why that got in there, which I do. It's going to be interesting, that code meeting. I have all of the code amendments in 4 3-ring binders. And he reminded me the reason why this is in there is Mara had issues with the audibility. What you can hear and understand is totally different, and that was emphasized by on the hog barn at the state, right? They went and had all this testing and all this sort of stuff, and reading up on articles, there's just so many different challenges you have trying to get this system working. It'll work in a high rise. You're just got a single floor and corridors, and you have just a small area that you're trying to reach sound. But in this type of a field house or any place else like that, you just can't get the sound to work.
Make a motion to approve.
One second.
Okay, Commissioner Cook? Oh, he's right. Mr. Chris?
Yes.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Chairman?
Yes.
Henrietta?
Yes.
Vice Chair?
Yes.
Mr. Porter?
Yes.
Mr. Wagner?
Yes.
Mr. Zane?
Yes.
Okay, that one's approved. Thank you. All right, almost done. No industrial activities renewals this month. As far as administrative review, one quick action. Is there anybody here for Washington Community Schools? Here online? Okay, then we actually voted on that one last month, but we wanted to make sure that they had notice of it, so we can move on from that. A generalized report of where cases currently stand are on the agenda for your perusal. If you have any questions about those, feel free to reach out to me and I can do my best to try and answer them. And that brings us to final comments. So Chairman, take it away.
Just thank everybody for being here today. All of you for it. I appreciate it. And we'll see you, people will be.
Jim, 8 seconds. And we're going to be here. Thank you.
It's 20 minutes.
It's Bill.
First few minutes are looking around. Well, we need some people online.
Yeah.
I have four issues. There. Did we say?
What's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was looking at the table going.
Yeah.
So nice to see that.
Yeah.
Lucky there.
And also.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you. I appreciate the service. I got it.
Yeah, that's kind of a hassle. Way around.
You know.